easyJet. The UK's biggest airline offers low-cost and reliable flights across Europe and beyond. But did you know they also do hotels? Offering basic rooms in city central locations, easyHotel say on their website that they're super easy and great value. But are they really as cheap and cheerful as the airline? Well, today I'm here at the easyHotel in Manchester to find out exactly that. So let's go get checked in and check it out. The first easyHotel opened in London in 2005, and since then, more than 40 have popped up in locations across the UK and Europe. Okay, I'm just checked in the room, and my first impression, this place is really small. I thought the Hub by Premier Inn that I stayed at was small, but I think this is smaller. And I know it's obviously it's a budget hotel, it's a basic hotel, but let me show you what I mean. The room is basically all bed, and there's nowhere to walk. I'm okay because I'm only staying by myself tonight, but as you can see, this is a twin room. So if there were two of you staying and you were occupying both beds, that could be really awkward in the middle of the night because there's barely anywhere to... I'm not sure how I'm meant to get past. I think all I can do is sort of sidestep like this. This isn't great. And I can't even get to the window. I just have to like stretch to close the blind. But at least there is a window, I guess. But yeah, look at the gap between these two beds. It is genuinely like not big enough even for me sideways on. The back of my legs are touching one mattress, the front of my legs are touching the other. And not to boast, but I'm quite slight, I'm not large. So, yeah, not a great situation if there's two of you, but I guess that's what you get at an easyHotel. And yeah, being a basic hotel, there aren't bedside tables, but there are holes in the headboard by both beds, which is plenty big enough for your phone and your keys and whatever you've got in your pocket. And then below that, you have got plug sockets with USB chargers and light switches. Now, I didn't actually realise that I'd booked a twin room. I just assumed it'd be a double bed. So, single it is then. While I'm here in the middle of the room as well, by the way, I did notice we've got this mirror on the wall, which again, by virtue of the design of the room and it being so small, this gap between the beds is kind of the best spot for using it. And even then, it's not ideal. I'm a bit too far away. But the only other option is to come round here. And then I'm too close. Like, I don't want to be this close to the mirror. I don't want to see myself that close up. But hey, what can you do? There is a TV, but it's hung on the wall. It's quite small, and it's too high up. If I get on the bed, yeah, if I'm lying in bed, it's too high up. I'm not going to be comfortable watching that. I just don't get why they hung it so high. You've got the full wall. There's nothing below it to stop it from being any lower. They've just gone, yeah, stick it higher, mate. Don't worry, just stick it right near the top of the wall. I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, no, it's not. You've just made it redundant. So there we are. One thing on the walls that I do like though is on the back wall here, just above the headboard, they've got a picture of the Manchester skyline in lieu of any kind of framed artwork or anything. One nice little touch is in the centre of that little skyline, in easy orange, is the building that this hotel is in. So that's at least been well thought out. And actually I have also found one feature that makes use of the space or lack of space in this room that is well designed. And that's just below the beds where there's a little gap for your suitcase, which is kind of needed really because there'd be nowhere else to put it. And that brings us on to the bathroom, which follows the theme of the main room by being tiny. It's a really awkward layout with a corner shower just behind me, a sink just to the right, and just where I'm stood is the toilet. But the entire layout feels really claustrophobic and really awkward to navigate. If I want to go to the sink right there, it's quite a squash to get past the toilet just because it's a very narrow walkway. The basin itself is quite large though, and you do get hand wash by the basin and some body and hair wash in the shower itself. There is also a spare toilet roll and a floor mat. One thing that this bathroom doesn't have though is a hairdryer, so if you're like me and you can't cope without one, make sure you bring your own. Right, that's the room tour then, and it's time for me to go and get something to eat. Now, this hotel doesn't have a restaurant or anything downstairs, but it is just around the corner from Piccadilly Gardens. So I'm gonna head that way and go and get something to eat, so let's go. And while Easy Martin heads to get some food, it's time for VoiceOver Martin to remind you to hit the like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe as well. This is a brand new channel, so doing all of those things will help me so much. Right, time for some Nando's. Right, I'm out of Nando's, and before I go on with the video, I just want to address one thing, because I can feel you judging me through the camera. Yes, I had a plain chicken breast, okay? Look, I'm running a half marathon tomorrow morning. I can't go having anything too spicy or adventurous. Who am I kidding? I'd have had that anyway. Anyway, now that that's addressed, we can crack on with the video, and I'm heading back to the hotel, but I'm just nipping to Costa Coffee at Piccadilly Station on my way to get a cup of tea, because obviously there's nothing in the hotel itself and I'm in need of some liquid refreshment. So let's go get me some tea. Okay, tea acquired. Let's go. You can tell it's a Saturday night in Manchester. All the nutters are out. Hey! See? And that's coming from a guy walking around talking to himself.
Can we get you vlog, please?
Yeah, sure. See ya. Right, I'm just back in the room, and as you saw on the way here, I'm a big time vlogger now. What can I say? People see me videoing and they're like, hey, can we get in your video? Yeah, of course you can, come in. No, but seriously, at least 3 different people laughed at me on that journey, so swings and roundabouts, I guess. Anyway, now that I've got my brew and I'm back, I'm going to get settled down for a quiet night in ahead of tomorrow morning's run. So yeah, I'll just go and get ready. The TV doesn't even work. It's the end of that one then. These Haribo are French, by the way, so how's that for exotic? Right, time for bed. See you in the morning. Morning. It should be illegal to get up this early on a Sunday, but I've got to. Now, as you can see, I'm eating a delightful packet of Belvita breakfast biscuits, followed up by a delicious banana, with some water and a smoothie to wash it all down. This is, of course, all stuff that I brought with me because there aren't any dining facilities at the hotel. Also, ignore the bed hair. Right, I need to go for my run now, so I'll see you in a bit. And yes, this is what I'm wearing. Right, time for a nap. Night night. Oh, I guess I can't really. That was not a good shower. Right, ready and packed. It's time to check out and give you my final verdict. Okay, I'm all checked out of the hotel now, so time for my final verdict. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really impressed. I like easyJet because you know what you're getting. It's cheap and basic, but it works, and it really is easy, like the name suggests. But the same can't be said for the hotel. So let's start with the positives. Well, positive. I did get a good night's sleep, which really was the most important thing. Despite being in a central location, I didn't hear too much from outside, and I didn't hear anything from the other rooms either. But the room itself was beyond basic. The lack of space was annoying. There wasn't even a chair to sit on, and with nowhere to put anything, I just had to lay everything out on the spare bed. All of these things were fine because I was on my own, but this is a room designed for 2 people, so I just don't see how that could practically work. I also must talk about the shower. It wasn't very powerful, and the water temperature kept fluctuating but was only ever lukewarm at best, meaning that overall it wasn't enjoyable and it was cold. So yeah, overall, not the best night's stay, didn't feel very easy. It didn't live up to the reputation of the airline, and for the price, it just didn't feel good value either. When I booked this, it wouldn't have cost that much more for me to stay in a Premier Inn round the corner, and in hindsight, I kind of wish I'd done that instead. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please do like it and share it, and hit that subscribe button as well so you know when the next video comes out. And let me know in the comments where you think I should head next. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one.